And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the day before a pretty significant day in the United States. Every 4 or 8 years, this day comes upon us, very much to some people's likings and very much to some people's distaste. But like it or not, it is here and it will be here tomorrow. And there will be some interaction and a new world for some. And we will find out how it all shakes down. And there is some probably good news coming because of it in the hemp business. And that's one of our stories today. And I think you will find it interesting. Welcome to CHAT CANNA. My name is John Reitmeyer, and we do this a few days a week. We bring you news, and we bring you a cat, apparently. We bring you news and hemp stories and some interesting tidbits. But first, the warnings are coming out earlier this year, by the way. I guess because there's so much product that is now being grown indoors. But the unscrupulous snake oil salesmen are pushing their wares early this year, and the warnings are coming out, starting farther east of us, but they'll be coming into the Midwest here pretty soon. And the warnings all have to do with being careful of who you buy your seed from. You're really into this today, aren't you? Yes, it's all about who you buy your seed from. And the short story of it is, if you buy your seed from the list of seed suppliers that your state puts out, they will help you if you get bad seed. If you get seed that doesn't germinate, if you get seed that's way over the limit of the 0.3%, if you get seed that's filled with other kinds of seed that is not at all hemp, you've got a friend. Hey, a Carole King song, that would be good, the You've Got a Friend. If you buy from their list. If you don't buy from their list, you're on your own. And we've experimented with that. We've been buying from some off-list sellers, actually in communication with the Minnesota Department of Agriculture, because we are in research and development here. We are not planting 80-acre fields or 30-acre fields and hoping that we buy good seed and see where it takes us. We're buying very, very small quantities and growing them out. And we had some interesting experiences with that over the couple of years. We bought, last year we planted, a plot that was 100 by 200. And it was industrial seed, so we planted it like grass. And literally 3 seeds germinated. And we were doing artificial watering on it. My partner and I were out there and planted it on a beautiful night in soil that had been tilled, not just cultivated like a field cultivator, but tilled with an expensive John Deere pull behind garden tiller. It was a careful garden plot, and we had 3 seeds germinate out of it. Paid good money for that seed too. So that's what you might or might not get. We had some other expensive buy the seed seeds that we had some not so good luck with. And then we have other seeds that germinated 1 out of 100, 98%. They were on the list also. So that's the warning that's come out now is, and I would suggest, if you're at all planting because you're trying to make money, buy off the list, because at least you have some recourse if something should happen. That is the number one thing that you need to do. Well, of course, last Friday, this is the big story, and it's a big story in 2 ways, because of what today is. Is there such a thing as the inaugural eve, like Christmas Eve? Because, of course, this is where we are today. And this is not at all about politics. This story is not at all about politics, but it is because this is the eve of the inauguration, not inauguration. This is a changing moment for us, and it could be a changing moment in the hemp business, because the new Congress that's coming in now, of course, all three branches, we had some support in different branches and from interesting people because generally you thought of the Republican side not to be so supportive of hemp, and yet there were pockets of Republicans that were incredibly supportive of hemp, seeing its value as an industrial crop. And then you had the old school that still were weary and not so in favor because of the old beliefs of the hallucinogen side of it. But people were coming along. But boy, if you saw the movie Baby Steps, this was a baby step place to go. The big problem, of course, with us is the 0.3 level of where it changes from being hemp and not being hemp. And that is just a hard target to hit. It was arbitrarily selected by a guy that was doing a report that was not really making this big decision for farmers all over the United States and almost now all over the world. He was just writing a paper, and all of a sudden somebody decided to make that the magic bar. Everybody feels that they'd be a lot happier if it was at 1%. Still nothing valuable to those people that are looking to use it for the other side. They're working now at 29 and 30% that they're trying to get a product to that they would like to sell in their side of the market. And of course, if the world should change, which it might now, considering that we have a Democratic president, we have a Democratic House, and we have a Democratic Senate, there could be some big movement in this really fast. But taking that aside, I expect that you're going to see some pretty fast movement in changing the level of where hemp is still considered to be hemp. And that would probably be good for the hemp business. Then you don't have a farmer that is going to put thousands and thousands of dollars out, even thousands of dollars. You go over there. You go there. Thousands of dollars per acre and face the risk of losing it. Now, they did lighten it up a little bit in the fact that you only have to destroy the flowering parts of your crop if you're over 0.3%. You can save the bottom parts and use that for something. But, that's like Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory. You only got to destroy the chocolate. You can keep the rest of the plant, assuming chocolate grew on trees. This is a problem. And so this problem might get solved for the hemp farmers here really relatively fast. And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see because supposedly the final rules came down on Friday to be put into place here in the fall of 2021. Is there now going to be a final set of rules? Of course, that's what a lot of people are going to push for, literally starting tomorrow at noon. It'll be very interesting to see where it's going to go. The one thing that is good, of course, is now if we are over 0.3, we are not criminals. They have. That's nice. It's nice to know that we're not criminal because Mother Nature and genetics and things happening in the ground, sun, rain, fertilizer, all work together to make a crop that went over this magically set place, put us, over the line. Some different rules that are still not explained to me. We have talked out to people and are trying to find out. It says, of course, the hemp has to be tested for total THC rather than the Delta 9. But this is weird to me. Samples for THC testing are to be taken exclusively from flowers at the top of the plant rather than from other parts of the plant or whole plant samples. A practice the USDA said is consistent with the sampling practices in many states established under the hemp programs in the original 214 Farm Bill. Now, when they've come and taken samples at our farms, they have taken flowers and leaves and leaf stalks. Out in North Dakota, I talked to some guys where they only did take beautiful flowers off the top and they were hot. So this is going to be interesting to see how that's going to go this year. The other thing that's really nice that they did put in the final decree here now for Friday is farmers can destroy their hot crops rather than the USDA coming and, taking it away. So, you can just take care of it, and that's a good thing. So this is going to be interesting. This is good news. The good news is coming, and I think in not 24 hours, of course. This is not going to happen just that fast, but it's at least going to head the hemp business in what I think is going to be a more positive direction. And we will, of course, keep you updated and bring you news about that, because that's what we do and that's what this show is for. And try and get some, there's going to be a settling in period here. People aren't going to sit down in their desks and have decisions and news for us tomorrow. But they will pretty fast, because they've been, of course, pre-working here, before they get the minute that they got named into positions. And there are lifers that aren't changing their jobs tomorrow. They change their allegiance tomorrow. And they changed their allegiance 4 years ago, and then 8 years before that, and 8 years before that. They are, they work for their different departments, whether it's in agriculture or parks and the National Park Service, or the Department of Defense, or highways, or education. They don't get changed out. The whole room doesn't get changed out, only the leadership. And then they get the new policies and they try and put those policies in effect the best that they can. So it's going to be an interesting time here of transition. I don't think you're going to see too many things change in the Department of Agriculture. You're going to see some new programs. I don't think you're going to see any programs taken away. You're just going to see the numbers counted up in a different way. The bean counters are going to count according to a different philosophy. You may see some programs come in that'll be different. And we'll see how it decks out. We'll be watching it closely. Please stay with us here on Chat Canna. Remember, you can see all of our shows. We got to change some of the graphics here now, because we're also on a platform called Twitch. So you can see us on Facebook. If you do, please like us and let us know you're out there. You can see us on YouTube. Please subscribe and hit the little bell that's down there, and then we'll let you know every time we're broadcasting. And you can now see us on Twitch, a new platform. And we gathered listeners there right away, and we're so happy that you're here and watching us. So until tomorrow, this is John Reitmeyer at Chat Canna, hoping that you have a good Tuesday. We hope for a peaceful transition here. And tomorrow morning, as we'll be talking to you, the transition will be taking place in Washington, D.C. And by the next day, we will have a new president and a new vice president, and we will move on from there. Until that time, I wish you happiness, wellness, good weather, and stay away from each other until we all get our shots. See you then.